Well, hello. Hello, this is Lauren Rowan. This is Surfing Vuzuvaya. It has been a while. This endless. I love how I've been seeing these beautiful Schumann resonance charts recently where there's just these large blocks of just complete white, where again, we're here is to the adventures into the unknown in vibration on this spaceship called Earth that we've all been riding upon, yeah? And here's all the changes that it's producing inside of us on the planet. And here's to hope. Here's to the overcoming. Here's to the transcendence. Now, the irony. Cheers. Mm. The irony that these unifying vibrations, right? These powerful vibrations. We are all synchronizing with these vibrations. These new vibrations from the earth, these new vibrations from the sun. Literally, we are synchronizing. So for some of us, me, um, and others that I'm witnessing, you know, places and parts of us that we thought we had healed and dealt with keep coming to the surface, repeatedly coming to the surface to want to be dealt with, to want to be healed, to want attention, rather. They want attention. We talked before about how I really believe ultimately resolution is a illusion. It's not like the fun kind of solution, it's just pure illusion. And that the process, that resolution in terms of dynamics, relationship dynamics, people dynamics, those I really do believe that that is primarily completely impossible, and that resolution with others is impossible. Resolution with self is a process, yeah, and it's a place you visit. Um, the importance of so it's interesting in coaching circles you talk about personality changes, that you can't be the same person, or I've heard this rather, one of the philosophies bantered about is that you can't be the same person leading a new life with a solution to your challenges and your problems than you were as the person who created the challenges and problems, right? Because we because you have to have a new perspective. You have to have, it's like you can't play baseball with lacrosse equipment. You could probably hit a few balls. Sorry. Those are really great images in my head. I hope your imagination is joining my imagination, is enjoying that particular metaphor as much as I am. Um, but as we are stepping into new realms, we are stepping into new games, we are in need of new tools and new equipment. And maybe maybe it's a renovation. Maybe it is entirely new. Maybe this is renovating equipment. Maybe we have already have the pieces. We all know we are infinite beings. And in the spectrum of all of the subconscious, cosmic librarian tomes, which we can also call the Akashic records, because we are the Akasha. True story that. In the records of all these are all the things that we need. And at the same time, maybe we also need to be creative and put our tools together in new configurations, in new ways, apply ourselves in new directions, and be willing to let go. Justice. As a spectrum me person, I can get really obsessed with what's right and wrong. And I see this in my friends and community too, especially is because that's, justice is a very important theme on the planet right now. And at the same time, How do we create a world of justice tomorrow, and not, how do we create equanimity? How do we create justice for now, for tomorrow, for the progress? And at the same time, revenge and the idea of making up for something that's past. Oh, in my dreams, because I just, I have seen resolution. I have seen people transform through situations. I have both been on both sides of apologies and growth and awakening as a result of leaning in and learning from the experiences I've had, and apologizing to others and having other people apologize to me, and in the situations that led to those very deep learnings. At the same time, for us to just sit in this place, and want just an eye for an eye, everyone ends up blind eventually. This is not, I don't see how this is useful. I don't see how this brings us forward. And I say that now in my thoughts on the larger political sphere. This is not about the major industries that, and the major shifts of the very popular predators and so forth. It is not about letting all predators go and just starting clean. Everybody starts with a new slate. I don't know what it is. I think this is what we need to figure out now, is how do we not live in anger and get caught up in everything that has passed, and how do we create a future where it's very clear that we have much clearer boundaries as to what we allow and don't allow? How do we create the culture that we said we were, right? That we said we were when I was growing up, and all the shock, the death of my idealism, and looking around, seeing the world as it is, as it was. So what is justice? What is justice in the future? What is justice in the world and my personal? Would I be satisfied? Like, if my abusers came to great personal growth and realized and took accountability for what they did, would that satisfy me? Do I want punishment? Do I want revenge? Do I want realization? I always want redemption. Redemption's my favorite storyline. So, yeah. These are not just my thoughts, these are the thoughts of everyone. But this is the shift. And how are we doing this shift, It's like, are we only going to, is it a hierarchy thing? Are only the cool kids allowed to shift? Who decides what's cool? Everybody is the villain in somebody's story. So, who makes these decisions? And ultimately, when we take these masks off, we are all one being. We are one energy taking endless forms in experimentation and play and growth. So, today is not about answers. But I'm here celebrating the question, and I'm glad you're celebrating with me. This is Lorian Rowan, surfing Vuzuvaya, waxing my surfboard with the willingness to keep going, to pursue, to be present, to discover what this shift is. And I love you, and I'm with you, and glad you're with me, because I can feel you, I can smell you, you smell delicious. Mwah. Bless you.